Who is Chef Emily Ellen? Well, I'm the retro rad chef. I take the old, I remix it and make it new through retro redos. And I encourage everybody to dig into their mother's recipe boxes, pull out those slow cookers, those pressure cookers, and really breathe life into new recipes. I joke and say, at birth, I knew I was born, I was destined to be a chef because I would watch all the adults come together around the dining room table, and I saw this magic that happened. Everyone would talk, just communicate, become just different people, like really be able to share themselves. And there was that moment. And I wanted to always be able to recreate it and have those moments of hospitality to feed people through their hearts, minds, and stomachs. And I knew that was the way to do it, is to become a chef. And so I went on and I went to the Culinary Institute of America, and I went to the Rosen College. I went to France. I have 2 masters and all but dissertation with my PhD. How do I create recipes? Well, I think there's 2 ways. So in a total retro rad remix, wow, say that 10 times fast, I will take a recipe that, for instance, from the 30s. And these are handwritten recipes in pencil, most likely, so you can't really read it. And it says a handful of lard, a handful of this. And, okay, whose hand? Lard. Where do you find lard these days? So on those recipes, I will create them first and foremost as exact as I can per this recipe using my hand or whatever. Then I have to go back and doctor it up to actually make it function in today's kitchens with today's ingredients. And then I'll put my own spin. No way am I gonna just make a pound cake. I'm gonna make a pound cake with lemon zest and blueberries and all kinds of delicious liqueurs, and the frostings are gonna be totally fun. That's my first way. My second thing is I'm inspired by everything. So I'll go to the grocery store and I'll go, oh my gosh, look at what's on sale. Oh, wow, I've never seen that before. And I'll go and I'll research on it, and the ingredient or the pot and pan or whatever cool gadget will inspire something, and I'll just develop a recipe from scratch like that. And I'll go, man, this fancy tool, it froths. Okay, well, I need to froth something. So let me make a latte with froth, or a cupcake that actually looks like a latte with froth. I grew up on a farm, a 200-acre Christmas tree farm, and we raised and grew everything we ate. We had chickens, we had pigs, we had horses, we had like every animal under the sun, and gardens, huge, beautiful gardens. So why I love to cook is because I love to eat. Our food was so good. It was fresh. I only found out that chickens actually come in packages when I went to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park. I didn't know. I mean, you go out in the backyard, right? I mean, I could kill and dress a chicken by the age of 5. I mean, there's video. My parents thought it was a hoot. Girls being my sister and I, go get chickens for dinner, go get this, go get the eggs, and we'd go get them. I mean, it was just so second nature, and I think it's funny these days with a farm to table. I'm like, well, it's about time people start cooking again. My parents were very adamant on giving us great educations, and they thought that one of the best things that they could do is to give us the gift of travel. So every year, for our spring break, my dad and my mom would pore over the atlases, and this is pre-Google, and check who had the least amount of people per square mile. And we'd go to these countries, these little countries, and my mom would read The Lonely Planet, and we'd explore. And I've traveled around the world as a result. I mean, we met so many people, ate so much great food, learned so many cultures, and I think that's what really has made me such a great hospitable person, and being able to understand dishes and know flavors. And I've never met anyone I can't get along with. I love people as a result of just knowing people. That's key. Oh gosh, we do a lot of cooking at home. I was, that pause was because I was like, wait, I do a lot of eating just in general. But no, I would say 85% of our meals are cooked at home, or maybe even more. I go out to dinner probably once or twice a week, but really breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And okay, to answer, what's my favorite thing to cook at home? My mom goes to India every year, and what she brings me home are like reams of spices in these like plastic accordion packets, and a lot of them unidentifiable. A lot of them are these masalas or mixes, curry masalas. And so I have to open them, taste them, and decide what they're going to go with. So we make a lot of Indian food at home. I do a lot of curries. And at home, I mainly eat fresh vegetables, veggie, a lot of veggie heavy. And every once in a while we'll have meat mixed in, but honestly, it's a lot of vegetables, a lot of curries, lots of rice. Now, Michael Rizzo, my partner, he is Italian, so we definitely have a good Italian night every couple days. So he'll make this, he calls it the deal maker. But it is a big pot of this gorgeous clam linguine that is like that buttery wine slurping sauce. So, yeah. We do a lot of cooking. I feel as though I have this gift where I can look at a menu and I know exactly what's great on a menu. I don't know why. I mean, it's nothing, it won't be like just consistently pork belly, or there's no one item in general, though I will eat a lot of pork belly and ribs or whatever you give me. But I just look at a menu and I gravitate towards it, and it's always great. I have like a knack for finding just what's good. What it's like to be on TV or travel the country nonstop. Well, I will say it's quite exhausting. And I definitely have to kind of put myself in check every once in a while. And for instance, in a normal month, I'll be in 3 different states flying around, and I will check into a hotel room and I will make it home. I usually bring snacks, and I'll bring my espresso and my push pot, and I'll bring my favorite whatever, almonds and what have you. And I will draw a bath, and I will take baths as much as I can, like when I'm away, just kind of keep myself grounded. And so it's exhausting, and you really have to keep focused, and you have to keep lots of good calendars, and you have to have someone on your team that helps to keep you organized. And I have Michael Rizzo, thank the Lord. And yeah, it's tough. And to be TV ready all the time, you know, that's a lot of makeup. Oh gosh, don't zoom in. I mean, that's a lot of makeup. That's a lot of hair. That's, you know, finding outfits. And I just surround myself with a team. I have great people who are always on the search for finding clothing pieces, and I have a stylist, Retro Mended, down the road in Lake Ivanhoe here, and I have my hair girl, Sierra Hernandez. She always keeps me looking brilliant, and my next door neighbor is my esthetician. So it's not like all glamour. You got to look glamorous, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of running around. It's a lot of little logistics. It's trying to find home on the road. And gosh, man, you gain lots of weight on the road, and I'm coming off of a stretch, and I just feel like I need to drink some more water, lay off the salt. There's a lot of salt when you eat and take out, or not take out, rather, when you go out. But yeah, staying grounded. To become a brand is kind of an interesting phenomena, because we think, you know, this pillow, Home Goods, is a brand, and we have conjured up a picture of what it looks like in the store, what they sell. So when you become a brand as a person, that's a whole nother beast. But I did very similar exercises on building a brand. Michael Rizzo and I sat down and we said, what is Emily Ellen? And well, funny, quirky, smart, cute as a button. Those are like my terms that I used when I was running for Potato Queen, and they haven't changed since I was a kid. But that's me. What would I look if I was a product? You know, I'm cat-eyed glasses and blonde hair and fun and funky. And we listed all of that out, and we built a brand based on the same principles as if you were building a brand for a commodity. And then to stay true to it, well, it's not hard to stay true to yourself if you are yourself. So that's one of the advantage I think you have when you are your own brand and you're true to your brand. No one can mistake me. I am Emily Ellen. When I'm walking down the street, people come up to me, they know what they're getting. I'm not hiding anything. This is me. So very true. I stayed to that. How do I continue to stay current? And it's kind of weird. How do I stay current and be retro? And so I've always been this retro rat, and I've always embraced that. I love elements of the past, but then I've always been able to breathe fresh life into it. I'm constantly reading, period. I'm constantly reading. I'm combing the internet. I'm looking at architecture. I'm looking at clothing, and I'm seeing kind of how the trends are. And it's really interesting how all the industries, all the veins of existence, we all kind of follow similar trends. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of like staying on top of trends, and I'm trying to anticipate what's going to happen before it happens. And a lot of times for food, I'll look to my favorite food cities. Chicago and Atlanta are my top two favorites. And I'll see what they're doing. What are they cooking up? What's on the drink scene? Like, what ingredient keeps pushing itself on the market? Why do we keep hearing about pistachios this year? And it's the year of pistachios. Well, I don't know. They had a bumper crop. They need to sell them, and their board got a new management or something. It seems like some products just end up on top, and I'm always watching and then going, why? Why are they cool right now? And then I start applying those principles to me and seeing, using it, seeing what works and keeping up with it. I can't not stay current, or I will be boring. I'll be old hat. Recipes haven't really changed over the 5,000 years that we've been cooking and in existence. We're still making the same hawker street food. It's not changed. But man, now we have access to really cool ingredients, manufactured and fresh from across the country. This globalization, this global local, our fingers can touch everything now. So cool. The future plans for Emily Ellen, well, we joke every day and we say, okay, are we going to take on the world today? Or are we going to take on the universe today? And we try to keep it down to the world so I can manage it. But my current goals and ambitions, this year we're working on a book, and that has been my big focus. So I had this idea to do a book called TV Tray Chic. I know you'll all love it. It is adorable. A rectangular book bound on the short side, looks like a TV dinner. Everything's shot really cool in retro TV trays, but they're gourmet food, and it's a whole food, fun, and fashion-inspired book where it's giving you tips and tricks along the way. So it's not just this funky food, but it's how to kind of incorporate it into an entire menu tablescape, and then be able to look like a fearless entertainer while you're presenting this food. So I'm working on that. And then I continue to put myself out there and search for TV opportunities. The Cutthroat Kitchen, they'll be re-airing that. And then I was on Camp Cutthroat. And then I travel around and I do food and wine festivals. And man, I work hard to keep in front of everyone and keep the momentum going. I don't say no to a lot of opportunities. I'll take it. I'll say, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. But my main focus is that book. These other things are kind of happening rather simultaneously. I think that yes, being a chef, but being a human, you have to be involved in your community. And I've always been committed to building the community and bringing everybody up with me. That is first and foremost what I strive to do, is to bring everybody into success. And I fell in love with Florida Hospital. They're one of my favorite organizations, Florida Hospital Foundation, I should say. And in particular, this event called Florida Hospital Gourmet Soiree. And it's so much fun. Robert Irvine comes and he's our MC for the night. And we, as chef community, come together. There's about 100 of us. And we each have about 10 people from the community that cook. And all the while, we're raising money for Florida Hospital and the foundation. And the foundation donates that money to Children's Hospital. And I've always believed in, bringing up the community, like I said, but you may as well start with the children. There's no better start than right there. Let's make healthy children who can live healthy lives and continue the momentum. So I've always been focused on that particular organization. Now, I get to be the master of ceremonies or mistress of ceremonies for the Girl Scouts this year, which is such an honor. I get to be co-MCs with Paula Pell from Saturday Night Live. And then I love working with Give Kids the World and their fun ice cream for breakfast campaign, and Scoops of Hopes is their kind of tagline, but it raises money to support that awesome wish-fulfilling community to bring all these children with terminal illnesses and to Central Florida and give them an experience. But, anybody that asks nice enough, I seem to help. I mean, I could probably name about 100 charities that I helped this year, but, why not? If I can do it and my cup isn't totally emptying, I believe that's one of the lessons that I've had to learn this lifetime. And I think a lot of people in service and hospitality, we give. And you have to learn that you can't give from an empty glass. You have to have a full glass or overflowing glass. So I have to build myself up and then give. And if I have that extra to give, why not? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't everybody else? Make the world better. Jeez, how long do we have on this life?